What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with an all new episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let's get into it. So we start off with Spice. She is packing, preparing for New York. She has the interview with the Breakfast Club and Wendy Williams, promoting her new album 10. Carly comes by to keep her updated about what happened in Dubai. It was fun, and she talks about her boy, not her boyfriend. She talks about Jasmine bringing her boyfriend KP on the trip and how she was in her feelings because it was supposed to be about them, and she just doesn't like it, and she's all about, you know what, maybe I can introduce her to somebody. I should introduce her to somebody because I don't like him and I don't like his braids. And Spice is like, Carly, just let her make her own mistakes. Let her grow up. If the guy turns out to be a frog, let her know that. Let her figure that out for herself. And I'm getting tired of hearing about this. I'm getting tired of talking about this, Carly. Leave it alone. This is really nothing for you to get so upset about, okay? Move on. Move on like I am. Moving on. So we're back to Spice. So apparently, her and her boyfriend are not in a good place right now. Turns out he took her pictures down while they had that argument because I'm paraphrasing. Let me see. Yes, so we're back to Spice and her boyfriend. They're not in a good space because their last argument, he was talking about how he wanted her to stop dancing provocatively, stop having performances with men on stage. And it's kind of like, well, you want me to stop doing music? I've been Spice since I've been with you. And I find it hypocritical of him because he's been behind the scenes. He's been a part of the production team from the beginning, mind you. So when Spice was on, I'm pretty sure he looked her up, saw her performances, saw how she dances, and now that you're dating her, you want to tell her what she can and cannot do? That's not, no. Who are you? You have seen plenty of other things. I don't like that. Why are you in control of what she can and cannot do? That's who she is. She's a queen of dance hall. That's the type of dancing that she does. That's her culture. It shouldn't make you feel no type of way. If you're not secure that every time your girlfriend twerks on stage or has the performances on stage and you're feeling type of way about men looking at her, then you need to figure that out for yourself, because how is it any different if we see male artists who have significant others, but yet they don't take in what the wife feels, because they feel like, I'm an artist, I have to present myself this way, and if women come and touch me, they have to, they can. It's double standards for me. It's a double standard on how us women, we have to change our ways for y'all, but y'all don't want to change our ways for us. Okay. Because during the pandemic, he got to see Grace instead of Spice. And even though Grace is the woman he fell in love with, she also wants him to fall in love with Spice as well. And in doing that about the argument, and during that, it led to a bigger argument where she let herself in his house and he took her pictures down. Petty as hell. So I'm moving on because you petty for that. They got a lot of fixing to do, but you petty for that. Rennie. Rennie is in the gym working out with her friend Hollywood, releasing tension from that argument she had with her mom. And she does not want to keep on arguing with her mom. She doesn't want to, but she's trying to focus on happier things. So she is now about to be on tour with Kevin Gates. But before she does that, she's about to plan a small listening party to put out new content so she can perform it with the tour. And she's also hesitant about sending her kids back to, was it South Carolina or North Carolina, for the school year, because it was already hard for her being away from them 8 months out of the year because she was on tour. But because, where she performs, it'd be nightclubs, not really safe with children. But since she's in the out with her mom, she has no idea what to do. So I don't know if this tour is going to be a much safer standpoint for her kids to come with her. But she does not want away from her kids this time. She doesn't want to. So she's going to plan a listening party. I already said that. Next, we got Erica. Erica's still in the hospital. She's still, talking about how she's doing this by herself. The baby is doing good. Just monitoring, where she's at with her body, her stress level, and the baby's, growth and everything. But at the end, of course, she just felt like I did not see my life going out this way, being a married woman in my lonesome at the hospital by myself. And yeah, that's it. I'm not trying to be lackluster about it. I'm done talking about it. I'm like I said, I'm not trying to be lackluster. I'm not. It's just okay. Safari, he arrives from the ashes. He's finally back from Miami. Scrappy put him up on game, told him about what was going on with Erica, how Sapphire's been here. And he said, listen, I did not know any of this. She has not called me. He found out through social media about the divorce. And if it wasn't for Scrappy calling him, putting him up on game, he would not have known about Eric was in the hospital. He felt like if he had known, I would have came there with the quickest to make sure she was okay, because she is carrying my baby. I would never be that cold. But of course he was still reveling in that petty mentality because the divorce was out there in the public. So of course, since it was out there, he felt like, fine, let me go ahead and sow my wild oats even more while you doing this shit in the public eye. So Scrappy is like, bro, what's going on with y'all? This is too serious for y'all. What's happening? Like, me and my wife, we're not in that good space either, but we're not as bad as y'all, and we don't want to get to that point. So what's happening? He said, I pretty much checked out when the divorce happened. Like, once that happened out there, I pretty much was like, okay, I'm done. There's no need for discussion. There's no need to talking. But at the end of the day, Safari Scrappy had to let him know, that's your baby. And that's your wife for the time being in the hospital by themselves. Your baby could have been born prematurely. That's a very scary situation. And he felt like if it wasn't for social media and if it wasn't for somebody telling him, he would not have known. But I feel like communication works both ways. With Erica not telling you she was in the hospital and you not inquiring about where your wife was, like, you couldn't even call, just to check on her. You couldn't even do that. Like I said, it's both ways with y'all. So Bambi wants to give him the real. Listen, Scratch Safari, get out your feelings. Your wife and your baby are in the hospital by themselves. They have nobody else there, and she's in a very high risk situation of your baby being born prematurely. He has not developed. His brain is not developed. His lungs are not developed. This is a very scary situation. Get up off your ass and go and be there with her. He said, okay, what if I'm there? Am I going to be, for good or for harm? She said it doesn't matter. Let her know that you're there for her. Then don't worry about that. Still be there to make sure that you care. So, and then, of course, the high stress with all this, nobody there with her. Nobody wants to go through that by themselves. And then you out here wearing your ring and da-da-da. Well, Scrappy said, well, all of us haven't been wearing our rings, so we really can't put ourselves in that. We really can't be, throwing stones at glass houses. We have not been wearing our rings. We have not been acting like a married couple either. But I get it. You trying to tell Safari and Erica, y'all need to do better. This is some bullshit. And he said, okay, well, we haven't all been wearing our rings, but we have all been gyrating other women in the club either. Moving on. Baby Tate. She's back from LA. She was doing music videos. She did a couple of features. She has had some meetings with some record labels who want to sign her. So sky's the limit for her. Brittany, stop putting Brittany, enough filler, enough whatever you're doing to your lips. Don't get no more shit done to your face. You look, I'm not saying you look weird. I don't like what you done to your face. So stop doing that. Obviously, Brittany has I don't know why, but she brought up Cornball Guap. Why are we bringing up him for some reason? He has been dead since episode 2. Why are we bringing up him now? So she's like, we're talking about the man who had no headboard and his mattress on the floor. Talking about him. Moving on. Okay, what about Yada? Yada's a cool girl. We're better as friends. And obviously, she's contemplating on moving to LA because LA is the city where she can have where most possibilities and more opportunities can be had there. So she won't be going back and forth. And she said, you know what? Sky's the limit for me. I am focused on my career. My career is thriving. I'm about to sign to a major label. So if it's a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. It's all about Benjamin Franklin at this point. It's all about the money. And she also talked about the differences. The difference is with Yada, it was a genuineness that I got from her versus in this cornball that I got from Guap. So it's all about that. Moving on. Mama D. Scrappy comes over to see Mama D. He hasn't seen her since she left for Dubai. And obviously Mama D is preparing to tell him something. And he says whenever Mama D is about to tell me something, she cooks for me. So the Bible was gorgeous. It was a good time. It was 125 degrees out there. But Sierra told me, quote unquote, Bambi is talking about getting a divorce. She wants to separate. And she does not want to be in the house with you. Now, when it was Scrappy hears it, he said, nah, you ain't hear from her. Nah, you must have heard from Erica Mena because I ain't heard nothing. I thought we were all good, and I know I know we're all good. Why would she do that? Because Erica was the one that filed for divorce, not Bam. So what's up? When I watched it, I was like, first I said, Sierra, why did you tell Mama D about what Bambi said? Why did you tell her? What was the point of you telling her? To be messy? Or to try to talk to Mama D so he can talk to Scrap? I have no idea. But why did you tell her that? Number two, well, Bambi did say that things don't get better. She will be contemplating a divorce. She will be contacting a lawyer. She did say that. Um, Even though Mama D was wrong for overstepping her boundaries, like she said before in the confessional, as mothers, we tend to overstep our boundaries. So this is definitely putting Scrappy blindsided with the fact of what he just heard. And, he's like, listen, I'm not going to be doing this with y'all. We're not about to make this a story about other people's lives. Y'all can have y'all mics. At the end of the day, Mama D, she just wanted to, I can't say she wants to look out for her son because I know she was, but that's Mama D. She messy. Messy and want to start shit. And then she said she's out to get you. She wants everything that you have. And she said, listen, at the end of the day, I do not feel no shame in my game because he is next in line for the throne. I'm like, okay, Mama D. And then she said, you're going to find out the hard way like you did with Diamond. I was like, oh, shit, damn. But like I said before, I'm like, Bambi, you did say that. You said you have been contemplating on getting a divorce and you do not want to be in the same predicament like Erica. But we know you not because you and Scrap just celebrated your 4th anniversary. So you guys are getting better. But in this predicament, we're going to see how this works. Because I feel like, damn, Sierra, you started this shit. But Mama D could not wait to tell him this. Spice. She's in New York promoting her album 10. She went to the Breakfast Club. Now she's going to Wendy Williams. She is trying to make sure that she is not going to be sucked in Wendy Williams' ways because Wendy Williams can be very messy when it comes to relationships. So she speaks to Sean Paul. She said, is he married? Is he single? You have kids? He said, I'm very happily married man with 2 kids. All right, Spice. Spice said, I'm single. I'm single. So, it was a spur of the moment. It was, hey, don't ask me type of questions because we're supposed to be promoting my album, my song, and of course, when he gets to the nitty gritty. So, in the makeup room, Shaggy and her friend was like, girl, why did you say that? Well, I'm not married. I don't have a ring on my finger. But you're not single either. Well, she feel like at this point, I don't know what the fuck I am. Me and Justin haven't even talked since we had that argument and he took my pictures down. So am I in limbo or am I on the verge of a breakup? So at the end of the day, what am I claiming? What relationship am I claiming if he hasn't talked to me? So there we go. Rennie, of course, she's at her listening party. It's just a few of her friends. Her music sounds really good. And her mom comes in. Of course, she wants to have another conversation because she does not want to continue this type of cycle with her own daughter. So they sat down and talked. She said point blank, why did you tell my sister, or why did I hear from my sister that I was doing drugs? And of course, the mom feels like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that. Then where the hell did my sister get this information from? She said, is Courtney on drugs? That's what my sister told me. And so I never told anybody. They be lying on me. They be, betraying me. She said, who betrayed you? I never betrayed you. Who betrayed you? Who lied on you? She said, your friends, your associates. She said, listen, I've never let nobody disrespect you. I've never done that. And then how is it so funny for you to not take accountability that you said it? It would be different if I was to come out and say, oh, Mama G, my mom got an alcohol problem. Then it flashbacks to her drinking in her bar with her friends. It could be that way. It could be perceived that way. But she's never done that. So at the end of the day, I don't want to have to go through this dysfunctional, toxic cycle with us. We have an argument. You don't take accountability. I get upset because I'm the one that's taking accountability for my part, but you don't take accountability for your part. And the mom was smiling like she didn't know what was happening, what was going on. So at the end of the day, they're both going back and forth, yelling back and forth. Everybody in the room is staring at them, watching it, and it's like, ooh, Lord, oh my God. Like, really key into this. She said, what type of relation do we have? Oh, the one where your friends don't want you to have a relationship with your mom because they don't have a relationship with their mom. That's why. She said, I'm not going to do that. I've never disrespected you. I've never let nobody else disrespect you. I still hold you to my mom because you are my mom. I don't want anybody else to let you know that I'm talking about you. If I was to say something, I would. But you say things about everybody. And you don't take accountability for what you said. So she leaves to go to the bathroom. Everybody's running behind her and said, I did not want to yell at her like this in front of TV. I did not want to do this. I'm hearing her friends say, it's money, it's money, it's money. Is it money for her to have this type of interaction on TV? Or is it money that her mom is asking for? Is her mama doing this for money? You know what I'm saying? That's what I was trying to, figure out. So things calmed down. She left the bathroom. She said, where my mom at? She outside. She said, listen, I'm taking accountability on the things that I've done. I have said I was not the best daughter. I put you through shit. But we have been in this terrible, disgusting, toxic cycle since I was 13 years old. When you called the police and kicked me out. At the end of the day, I want you to take accountability on the parts that you played. It's not just me. And so the mom was like, I remember. So when she remembered, because Rennie is literally hyperventilating and trying to get her words out while holding back tears. So when she said, I remember, she broke down and said, listen, my mom finally admits the thing that she's done. She finally admits the things that she said. But why do I have to beg you? Why do I have to beg you to admit the things that you've done? It don't have to be that way. Even though this was somewhat of a small start to their relationship, it's going to get fixed. It needs to take time. And she only wants to be better. You only have one mom, and she feels like I'm a better mom because of her. I've learned a lot of hard lessons in life because of her. It was a very touching moment, but it was very hard and mind blowing to watch. It was. Erica, she's back at home, safe from almost having premature labor. She sees her daughter. Her daughter is with her godmother, and she's still feeling away about how she was in the what's the name of hospital by herself. And she speaks to her God. She speaks to her friend. She said there was Safari there. She said he came back for 20 minutes, left a few hours, then came back for another 20. At the end of the day, he showed me his true colors. I cannot believe I'm going to be going through this by myself. But at the end of the day, when he said he goes for himself, he goes for himself. And I finally believe it. I would never fight for someone else that would never fight for me. Now, what I want to understand is because it is so funny that this is happening, because while Family Reunion is filming right now and Erica and Safari are on there, Erica Mena is part of the main cast. But I think Safari is a guest from time to time, but we have seen footage of them filming, and we've seen Erica and Safari dancing on each other, grinding on each other. I have no idea. But like I said in my other videos, she was with Nally Nunn saying this is my divorce party, but now she is on this new show dancing with Safari. So I have no idea. Either y'all are co-parenting, or y'all just still fucking, or y'all have to be co-parent. But I don't know if divorce is final. I don't know. But if you guys are like just together for the show, I don't know. But it is kind of funny though that I feel like, I don't know. I'm feeling sorry that she went through this in that moment, but now in present time, all that shit that you did, I feel like, what am I feeling sorry for? You went right back to him. I don't know if this is permanent. I don't know if this is just what it was. You needed to sow some wild. I don't know. But I feel like after everything you've been crying on this show, you're gonna cry the next episode. I feel like what am I feeling sorry for you for now? What you went through is very terrible. But the way that you are acting in the present of what I'm seeing on the blogs, I feel like okay. I'm moving on. I'm done. Spice, she's back at home with her kids. They're doing virtual learning, and her boyfriend comes through. They call him Papa. So while they were in the pandemic, all living together, they have been fine, creating a very good relationship with, with Justin, and she doesn't want to take that away from them. But she also wants understanding of what's going on with them. So they both want support from each other. They're both doing tit for tat, taking down the pictures. He said, I didn't do that. You're telling me that I have to stop being who I am. Not cool. And then, of course, you practically spited me in the Wendy Williams show saying that you're single. But she said, I'm not married. What are we right now? I don't know where we at. But the fact that you went on Wendy Williams show said you're not single, or said that you're single, that was like a dig towards me. She said, I'm not going to argue with you about this. I'm not going to do that, because if we're not going to be honest about what you did, what I did, even though she said, I said it, but you're not admitting to you taking out her pictures. At the end of the day, it's like, if y'all get together, y'all get together. But get some things straight, okay? The whole thing, Wendy Williams, yes, maybe she could have worded it differently and not point out that she's single. Okay, I got that part. But you You need to come up with another way of you trying to make sure you're secure in a relationship and not have her change who she was. That's it. Moving on. And then of course you don't claim me, and you don't even claim me in private. You took my pictures down. So how can I claim you in public if you don't claim me in private? Don't make me look like a fool. That's what Spice said. I'm with that. All right. Ending it with Safari. So of course after seeing Erica in the hospital, he said that the main thing she wanted to talk about was the girls on the videos, and he felt like that's not what we talking about. I forgot to mention earlier, because he said at the end of the day, whenever we fight, it gets to a nasty point. And I don't want us to fight. And if I was to go there in the hospital, I don't want to fight with you while you're pregnant. That's not going to be a good thing. Because even though they both know they toxic, they both know they contribute, but he feels like at this point, I don't want to argue with her. I just want to be there for her, for the support of my baby, to ride safely. That's it. So, like I said, she was in the hospital with him, and all she wanted to talk about was the girl. And he wants to know what's going on with the baby. So now he's talking to his lawyer to make sure that he gets his ducks in a row, because talking about what was going on and how he wants pretty much joint custody, because he loves his little girl and he's gonna love his newborn baby, and he does not want her to go through that. She's just a sweet little girl. And I was here with Safari. I was also pretty like in between my feelings about when he was crying. I'm like, is he really crying? Is he really choking up? But I can tell he loves his daughter. I can tell. And excuse me. Gloria says we specialize in fathers' rights. We do. And I'm with him. He said, I don't even care about the cars and the clothes and the house. I don't even care about that. I just want to be sure I can see my daughter, because Erica said no matter what we go through, no matter how mad we get with each other, she would never throw it in my face and say, I'm taking your kids away from you. She would never not say, she said, I would never take your kids away from you. But he also said the way that things have been going, Erica is licensed to be spiteful and do spiteful things, the way things are going. And I believe him. But you also are doing it as well. So, but that was pretty much it. I ain't got no more to give. Y'all stay tuned for my next episode. I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.